let's get this shit show started, shall we? Hello, how are you? Me? I'm OKSharky. Yeah, so you may have noticed I'm about 3 or so years late to this video. Whoops. You might be wondering what I was doing in that time, and well, I mean, there was this one time I found a couple pennies on the floor. It was a pretty good day. You know, sometimes life just throws these crazy things at you and you just have no idea what to expect for the rest of the day. I mean, a couple pennies. Finding one, now that's good enough. Finding 2, that's off the fucking chains, mate. It's days like that where you think, am I going to make it through the whole day? And the answer is yes. Yes, you are, because you only found a couple pennies, you fucking retard. I mean, sometimes the universe just throws you some real curveballs. What can I say? Anyway, I am back now. I am currently very sick, and I'm currently recording this days before Christmas, 5 days to be precise, and I'm hoping to get it out beforehand. However, I don't think that's possible. We'll see. we'll see just how quickly I cobble together this absolute shit show. Anyway, that's besides the point. The purpose of this video was to share with you a VHS tape that I found in my collection. Now, I have quite a few tapes that we have recorded shows off from the telly or films off from the telly from back in the early 2000s, late 90s, that we just have stashed around. And I wanted to have a dig through them. And I managed to find what can only be described as a diamond. There's no indication as to what was on this tape, so I just popped it in expecting to just find some random movies or shows or something. What I found was pure gold. Now, anyone my age or a little bit older will probably remember the band Busted. They were massive in the early 2000s, from about 2003 to 2005 before disbanding, and they were the shit. These guys were fucking cool. They released hit after hit after Air Hostess after hit. I'm kidding, I really like Air Hostess as well. To be honest, I don't think there's a lot of songs of theirs that I don't like. And they were everywhere. Now, just to catch you up to speed, for those who don't know who Busted are, it was a band comprised of Charlie Simpson, Matt Willis, and James Bourne. Now, these 3 boys managed to do quite a lot of stuff in the 2 years that they were actually active as a band. Somehow, they managed to leave quite the lasting impression. Case in point, this tape that I found, my parents recorded off the telly a Christmas special from 2003 to promote their album, A Present for Everyone. The name of this Christmas special? Christmas for Everyone. How long did it take you to come up with that one, boys? So when I discovered what was on this tape, I was like, shocked and surprised and baffled. Who would think that Busted would make a children's Christmas special for TV? What is that about? No one wanted a Busted Christmas special, and yet here we are in 2019 looking back at 2003 when apparently that was the smart move to make. Now, what I will say is that this isn't the best produced special in the world. In fact, it's quite shoddy in its execution, but there's something just so magical about it. Maybe it's the fact that it's about the Christmas spirit, maybe it's the fact it was made in 2003, or maybe it's just because I'm a massive nerd for nostalgic stuff like this. I'd also like to apologise before we begin for the quality of the video I'm going to show. It's only in 240p because the only rip I could find was uploaded in 2006, back before videos more than 10 minutes long could be uploaded to YouTube. So this thing's in 3 parts. And I've lost my capture card as well, so I can't record my version off the telly. If I do manage to find my capture card, however, I will upload a rip to YouTube of the entire thing, not just 3 segments. I will upload the entire thing, and I won't put any ads or anything on it, because I just want everyone to enjoy it the same way I did. Any version is better than the one that's already on YouTube, so hopefully it'll be a more viewable experience for everyone. I can guarantee I'm not getting a copyright strike or anything either for it, because like no one gave a shit about this special, so they're not gonna even bother chasing that one up. I guess I'll just stop talking about it and I'll show it to you because I can't wait. Let's dive right into this shit. So this advent calendar intro is actually really cool. I like it. It's really festive, it's fun, and this version of Hark the Herald Angels Sing, like, it's only a small snippet of it, but it's really good. To be fair, this is probably the best way they could have opened it. You've got festive visuals, clips from the show we're about to watch. You've got a snippet of their music. Like, it's really, really good. I'm invested. I want to see what happens.
One fine Saturday morning, while Busted were performing at the SMTV studios, something mysterious happened that was to change the course of their lives forever.
What's that 12 guitars?
What a first 10 seconds. That's a lot of information to take in. They really throw you right in, don't they? I mean, this whole situation seems like a little suspicious in the first place. Like, why are they performing on a Saturday morning? Concerts happen at night, not Saturday morning. What are you talking about? This is the least believable thing about this situation, the fact they're performing on a Saturday morning. Like, fucking forget about the fact that the lights went off and they had all of their guitars taken right out of their hands in front of a live audience. Let's just move on. I'm getting too worked up about this.
I mean, it's ridiculous. That's my favourite guitar. What are we going to do? I'm dead.
Wait. Why are we in the dressing room? How did they just walk off stage? You're telling me the members of Busted just walked off stage in the middle of a performance just because they didn't have their guitars?
I've got that on loan from Gibson and...
I know, I mean, who would have done that?
There's a crowd of people waiting out there and you just walked off. You stood there like lemons for a couple of seconds and now you're in your dressing room. Those guys just got ripped off. Like, come on, you gotta perform for them. They're your fans. They're paying to see you. To be fair to you guys, that does take a lot of balls to do that to a crowd of screaming teenage girls.
Busted, your guitars are safe for now.
So something you'll notice about this special is that they use a lot of cartoony sound effects to make up for the fact that they're not very good actors.
Okay, guys, we've got to find our stuff and get it back, okay? I'm not giving up on this. Neither are you, and neither are you.
And neither am I.
Whoa.
It's like they're compensating for the fact that they don't have very good acting ability and they didn't have very long to shoot this special. Matt and Charlie are okay, they're not great, but James is just... What is wrong with you, James? Is something up? Stop smiling, your guitar's just got fucking stolen.
If you don't want to see them chopped up to make matchsticks, then follow my instructions to the letter. Your first task is to go to Santa's grotto, where you'll find the clue to your next task.
What did the members of Busted ever do to you to warrant you stealing their guitars and holding them at ransom for threat of turning them into matchsticks of all things? It's not even a very practical use of the wood in the guitars. They're fucking electrical guitars. Like, I'm not being funny. How much percentage of those is going to be turned into matchsticks? To be honest, no explanation is going to satisfy me, so I'll just accept it and move on.
Whoa. We can't go anywhere. We still got to do that gig with the record candy bosses. Oh, we're still working, aren't we?
Oh, dude, we're like 30 seconds in and I'm already sick of these sound effects. Like, come on, what is this? This is not an episode of Looney Tunes. This is Busted Christmas Special. Fuck.
I'm not doing any gigs without my axe. I need my axe to maintain my musical integrity.
Well, actually, his mummy bought it for him. And if he's seen on TV without it, she'll kill him.
James, you and me need a word, okay? Listen closely. What the fuck did you just say to me? I love you, man. You're very musically talented, and I appreciate that. That's good. I like your drive. But stop calling your guitar an axe. Please. You sound like a 14-year-old who thinks the world's against him. He's like, you just don't understand, Mom. I need my axe to maintain my musical integrity. This ain't an attack on you. You're my boy. And boys got their boys' backs. But don't ever fucking call your guitar an axe again, please. We good? We clear? Let's carry on.
We've got to get going to Santa's,
Grotto?
Yeah.
Yeah. Try and do it.
Let's synchronize watches.
Okay, great. Let's get to the car. Whoa.
Sorry guys, the car's busted.
No, bruv. We're busted. Your car... Rubbish!
Ha! They said rubbish.
So what do we do now?
Where do we go from here?
I'm not feeling this.
Can we have your autographs? I'm your biggest fan. No, I'm the biggest fan. I'm the biggest fan.
So Busted gets stopped by some fangirls. Apparently they're Busted's biggest fans. But Busted will have you know that that's not true.
He is.
This guy in the back here, he's doing God's work. Some say he's still stood there to this day in the same shirt, in the same spot, just declaring his love for Busted. God bless. So since Busted are against the clock to get the guitars back, Charlie proposes to these fangirls that if he gives them their autograph, they have to give him their skateboards. Now, what do they say to that?
That'll cost you autograph and kisses all round.
That's right. They ask for kisses. And how do they react to that? They fucking shrug it off. It's whatever, they do it anyway. Now prepare yourself for the most uncomfortable kissing scene I've ever experienced in any form of media ever. They leave too much to the imagination here. Could you have any more disgusting sound effects than that? Why would you put a burp at the end? Come on, guys. Like, fucking hell. Grim. I need to shower. So anyway, they get moving, and we get this sort of like skating montage. Now, I'd really like to know if this is actually the members of Busted skating, but the quality of the video is just too poor to actually make out whether it is them or not. I don't think it is, but they seem like the sort of people who would be into skating, which makes me think that it could possibly be them. This is probably one of the best edited sections anyway, the entire thing, because it's just a skating montage. As long as you can make a skating montage look cool, you're in the clear. Do you think this might be the crowd that followed them from the studios? So this ends up being an impromptu meet and greet session, and they had to stop and sign a bunch of stuff for them because otherwise they would attack. Now, this segment does sort of come out of nowhere. They seem to be wasting the precious 6 hours that they've got to get their guitars back. But you know what? Like, I don't know. I don't mind this. The only one who seems to even acknowledge this is Matt. He just keeps checking his watch throughout all of this. And yet, he still doesn't get a move on. He still just keeps signing stuff. But like, it feels good. This is what Busted should be. This is what Busted should feel like. Also, like, I just want to mention Matt's coat as well while we're talking about him. Charlie and James look like they have just walked out of a concert. But Matt looks like he took the time to slowly put on a jacket and get himself all ready to go out in the cold. Like, why is he the only one that's wearing a proper coat? What was the point in that? That's just going to slow you down, son. It's so strange. I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
It's Christmas time, it's Christmas time, it's Christmas time, it's Christmas.
So at last we get somewhere. We end up in Harrods. And all Matt and James can talk about is what kind of species tree the Christmas tree is.
Nice tree. So, tell me one thing. Is that a Norwegian spruce or a noble fir?
At a quick glance, I'd say it's an Austrian pine.
Now, with a traditional code shape like that, my friend, you're having a laugh.
Fucking what?
With a traditional code shape like that, my friend, you're having a laugh.
I don't know, that tickled me. So I don't actually know why they knew to go to Harrods, but somehow they just magically decided that that's where Santa's grotto had to be. And yet here Charlie is trying to decide where Santa might be.
Charlie. Ho, ho, ho. Now, I say we start at the toy shop. That's exactly the kind of place Santa would hang out, huh? Charlie. Maybe the kiddies' play area. Or Beards Are Us. Maybe the kiddies' play area.
Why? Ew, just no! The kiddies' play area! Old men should not be hanging out in the kiddies' play area. You shouldn't be saying that, Charlie. It's not appropriate. This was televised to children. This is such a weird special.
Oh, yeah.
Oi! Where do you think you're going?
We're here to see Santa.
Oh, no, you're not. We're closed.
Oh, come on, man. We see Santa's an emergency.
If your name's not down, you're not coming in.
Now, also, this is quite amusing that they have elves as bouncers for Santa's grotto. But, like, Charlie Simpson is 6'2", 6'3". He could literally just pick one of them up and just throw them. Use your brute force, man. You were born with a gift. You're a unit.
Guys, over there.
A Miss Elf over there, I think she wants you to attack him. That's a bit dirty.
She's signalling.
Well, yeah, that's the next logical progression. Busted had no involvement in that. That literally just happened.
Well, hello, ho, boys.
Okay, less of the ho-ho-hoing, my man. Where are our guitars?
So straight talking Matt here is taking none of Santa's bullshit. He wants his guitar back, and that's final.
What are you talking about?
We were told that we're going to get the chop at 6 o'clock. If anyone knows a thing on my Betsy. Betsy? You guys don't have names for your guitars?
And James just goes and undermines everything about the interaction by calling his axe Betsy. Honestly, I didn't think it could get worse than James calling his guitar an axe, but now he's named it Betsy. I realised I was wrong.
What's the clue then?
Ah, well, that depends on whether you've been good little boys all year or not, doesn't it?
To be honest, mate, we haven't had time to be good or bad.
Well, that's a shame.
Oh, this whole interaction is just so off.
There's your clue.
Oh, it's a result. Everyone's going to love this.
There's too many ideas and strange happenings going on in this special. Like, it all just sort of clashes. It doesn't make any sense.
When winter comes, the people sneeze. The squirrels sleep, the waters freeze. Look for skaters among the trees.
What do you think it means?
Do you know what? I think it means that the next crew is at the ice rink.
You're not doing that, are they? Is it code?
Is it an anagram of squirrels?
As you can see, I'm the brains of this outfit.
Which is why we're in so much trouble.
Well, I don't get why the audience is now a part of this special now. We just suddenly acknowledge that we're here and we are watching. Oh, I just leave the fourth wall alone for now. Don't worry about us. We're just watching you get your guitars back. Or should I say not getting them back, because you don't really seem to care that much. All three of you are just dossing about.
Look, anyway, we've got the crew. Let's just go, okay?
Yeah. Thanks, mate.
So far, so good. They're on their way to the ice rink.
It's not the real Santa.
Keep an eye on them, but don't give the game away.
Okay, I'll follow.
Santa was working against them the whole time. We're already 8 minutes into this 30-minute special, and I have no idea what's going on.
3 hours to 6 o'clock. Our guitars get it.
So apparently Busted have already wasted 3 hours. I'm not being funny, you had 6 hours to get your guitars. Do you even actually care about them at this point? 3 hours isn't a long time to get your guitars back after a treasure hunt across London. Like, you need to get a shift on.
I was standing in the shop window.
You just keep fucking about.
I don't know, but we're here now, and why don't we go shopping? You know, Christmas presents for family.
Yeah, man, I've got
Yeah.
some nice pink mittens over there, Joe.
Yeah, but we're supposed to be getting to the ice rink. Remember? Guitars missing, stolen.
We have got 3 whole hours.
And it is Christmas.
After all,
Of course, they don't choose to get a shift on. They instead decide it would be better to get some Christmas shopping done.
I'll say them all. Take them all.
Guys, come on. Seriously. Why are you showing me a shopping montage? Stop fucking about in Harrods and get a move on. And for some reason, Charlie Simpson can't seem to get his mind out the gutter during this. Dude, leave the lingerie alone. There's children watching. Keep it in your pants. Go get your guitar. Go and get your guitar right now.
It's freezing. We're going to take Uncle Joe's present.
The ice rink. How are we gonna get there?
Let me get this straight. The members of Busted were pissing about in all of those stores and somehow managed to get that much shopping and did all of that in 46 minutes. There can be only one explanation.
Oh my God! Look. Oh mate, look, it's all right. Look, the other side. Excuse me, Bob. Can we have a lift?
Yeah, sure. But you've got to help us collect money for this children's charity. Can you play any instruments?
Our band's let us down last minute.
So in order to get to their next clue, they managed to hitch a ride with these elves that somehow have like a party wagon, I guess. So apparently this is Busted's ride to their next clue to getting their guitars back. But not being funny, carnival floats aren't exactly known for being fast. They're playing a free concert for these elves. In all seriousness though, this is just an excuse to get the first song in.
I'm saying something's wrong. She's out back playing soccer. She used to do ballet. Now she's a heavy smoker. She's so obsessed with me. Now she stands up to pee.
Whoa, stop. What was that last line?
She's so obsessed with me. Now she stands up to pee.
She's so obsessed with me, she stands up to pee. What exactly do you mean by that? How exactly would this girl achieve standing up to pee? Like, I just don't get it. Is she just stood there pissing herself because she likes you that much? Would this girl be happy about you singing about her peeing? Jesus Christ, what a weird line. Even Frank Skinner back in 2003 was perplexed about this line. He asked about it in an interview with Matt and James.
This is She Wants to Be Me. Yeah. She used to do ballet, heavy smoker. She's so obsessed with me that she stands up to pee. What do you mean?
It's like, you know, because she wants to be you and she's a girl, and now she's trying to be you so much she's becoming a boy. And girls don't stand up to pee, so...
Yeah.
It's like that way around, yeah.
Look, I never said the meaning behind Busted's lyrics was deep. So just as the song comes to a conclusion, the narrator gives us like a brief rundown of what's already happened, just because this is where the ad break would have been. And honestly, it's like he reads my mind. Like, he is the best character in this entire thing, because he's the only one that makes any sense.
Busted have got less than 2 hours to save their guitars, and here they are, messing around with a bunch of elves. Busted's guitars have been stolen, and the boys have been given till 6 o'clock to save them. So what did? They went shopping, skateboarding, and played with elves. Will they make it in time? Doubt it, but that's just my opinion.
But seriously, this narrator is just like speaking my mind right now. I'm sat here like this is a total train wreck. Busted are never going to get their guitars back. Christmas is doomed. And the narrator's sat there pretty much saying the same thing. Thank you for at least making me feel acknowledged in this situation.
It's Christmas time, 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 it's Christmas time.
Mate, what peculiar weather we were having?
So at some point during the ad break, Busted went from dusk to midday. Did they just think no one would notice this?
What was it, a solar eclipse because it was dark and we were with the elves?
Oh, no, apologies. They do acknowledge it. They blame it on a solar eclipse. I mean, if there was no real way of keeping consistent continuity, then I guess that's one way to explain it away. But, like, come on. This just screams laziness.
Okay, I know, it's split up. What is that for? Because that's what people do in these situations. Already been that way.
It's Christmas time, it's Christmas time, it's Christmas time.
Check out that BT over there.
I thought you guys split up. That was also my reaction to the 2016 album Night Driver, funnily enough.
Excuse me, boys. Swing!
So that's the reason why Matt was wearing a massive coat and the others weren't. They needed to cover up the fact that he was going to be having a skating double on this ice rink section. Just serves to waste more time. But they do get another clue.
Oh, nice skills. Good skills. I was impressed with myself, man. I mean, I haven't had fun like that for months. I know, man. I mean, I was looking for the clue earlier. I just can't seem to find it. Oh, man. Oh, mate. Check this out. Oh, wow. Skating fitty must have slapped it on.
So this skating fitty, she just fucking slapped it on. She just slapped it right on the back of his head. Didn't even notice. He was just sat there like... But she just slapped it on. Slapped it right on. Please, share with us, Charlie. What did the skating fitty just slap on the back of Matt's head?
As the year starts to fade and forget all this rhyming nonsense. Your next clue is Homer Holmes's Home for the Retired.
Man, another tricky one. Guys, well, this place is miles away and we haven't got time, and by the time we arrive there, we'd already be late.
Not necessarily. Got an idea. This way.
Why are they just so clueless to everything that goes on around them? One second they're like omniscient and they acknowledge that there's an audience at home and they can jump around all over the place and teleport and run at the speed of sound. And the next they're just bumbling morons. You just teleported to an old folks home and you're just like, where am I? Where did we go? I guess the trade-off for comical omniscience and teleportation abilities is a 3-second memory.
Excuse me, do you know anything about our clue?
Yes, I might actually, but there's no need to shout. I may be old, but I'm not deaf.
Ah, excellent. Oh. So, can you give it to us then?
What? Speak up. What do you want?
I'm sorry, mate. We need our clue. We've got 20 minutes and our guitars are getting scrapped. We've got told to come here to see you.
What's in it for us?
I like this guy. This guy has totally just been put there to fuck with Busted. He's just like, nah, what's in it for us? We want something out of this transaction. We're not just gonna give you a clue. You gotta earn it.
What would you want?
Are they the carol singers, dear?
There's your answer. Give us a song, lads.
I don't understand this. I mean, some geezer nicks our guitars, we're sent on a wild goose chase to Santa's Grotto, an ice rink. Now we're singing carols of Wrinklies. Fantastic.
I take back what I just said about that old guy. Matt, you can't go around saying Wrinklies to a bunch of old people. You kind of deserve this now. You had this coming. Respect your elders, man. It just so happens that these old folks seem to have a bunch of guitars and amps lying around and no carers. It's a bit suspect. So even with 20 minutes left, they get Busted to perform Hark the Herald Angels Sing from the intro. You know, this is a really good version. I do like this. I like this section a lot. But the thing that's bugging me is the fact that they've only got 20 minutes supposedly to get their guitars back. And they're dilly-dallying around in an old folks home. And once they're done, the old guy just hands them the bag. So we get kind of like a proper Christmassy spirit kind of thing going on here. It's a bit ham-fisted, but it's sort of like a nice reminder to not forget about your older relatives or friends or whatever that might be a bit lonely around Christmas. It's quite a nice thing.
I'm so sorry. Look, take ours. Look, Christmas is on us. Here's our presents.
To be honest, I think this old guy deserves to be a bit lonely at Christmas anyway. Not being funny, but he just had that clue down beside his chair the entire time. He just got Busted to perform for him like monkeys. Do you know what that is, mate? That's extortion. Also, those old biddies are going to have a very Merry Christmas indeed. Thanks to all that lingerie you handed over, Charlie. Jesus Christ.
No one this time, guys. Your final clue is at Trafalgar Square. I hope you can climb trees, because this clue is away with the fairies.
So this clue tells Busted to go to Trafalgar Square? They are not making that with 11 minutes. There's no way in hell that they are completing this treasure hunt. I don't know why they haven't given up yet.
Now I've got the clue, yeah? Let's get going, because the guitars are going to get... Let's go!
So I don't know why, but Busted decided, despite the fact that they can teleport, they're going to run to Trafalgar Square. And then they stop and remember...
Why don't you do that neat little trick thing and we just jump through time?
Oh yeah, we can teleport. Oh, I hate how much I love how self-aware this is. In all seriousness, if this is the kind of stuff that they actually televised on CITV, call me. We can do business. I can make something like that. Easy, no problem. I'll do it. I'll do it right now. I'll go. I'm going. I'll go make one.
We're here now, guys. I reckon the next clue is at the top of that tree. All we have to do to get that clue is climb it. Should be time. Yeah, you reckon?
It's a pretty big tree.
Look, forget this. I mean, it's bad enough that we can't spend Christmas with our families and stuff, and going and ruining it for everyone else. How much time we got left? Oh, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Gone, mate.
That's it. Time's up.
Betsy is ruined.
So Busted inevitably ran out of time for this treasure hunt, because of course they did. Because they spent about 5 of the 6 hours just dossing about. And so they decided it'd be better just to walk home. Fair enough. Just go home. You've had a bit of a day, haven't you? Well, I think we all have.
We're home now. Let's go and wish Merry Christmas to everyone.
This sign right here. This is something special. I can't even begin to understand what the implications of this are, but I want to know the mystery of this living situation. This is perplexing.
That's weird. James, all the lights are off. And nobody seems to be home. I don't sense they've moved out and not told us again. Let's try around the back.
So the boys' parents aren't in, so they decide to go around the back of the house, and lo and behold, there they are. waiting with a big crowd and a stage and lights and snow, and it's almost like it was set up to be the end of a Christmas special. It's awfully convenient.
Hi guys, so you finally made it.
Sake's up here because you aren't the geezer from the grotto.
Look, our guitars are here. Wait, did you do this?
Man, the sinister Santa actually turned out to be really nice, and he was just trying to help. How nice.
All your parents and all your fans thought you've been working far too hard and you deserve a bit of a break. So they asked me and my boss to sort it.
Oh, and his boss has something to say as well. Let's see what his boss has to say.
That's right, it's me. Your parents asked us to do something special for Christmas for you. Happy Christmas. Your present was a day not thinking about work and being reminded what Christmas is all about. That's right, having fun and being with your family.
The fuck did you just say? What kind of half-assed Z-tier level present is that? Fuck this, man.
Don't stand there with your mouths open. Go and do what you do best.
Man, you just totally robbed them, held their valuables at ransom, disappointed a paying crowd, and then just sent Busted on a wild goose chase just because you felt like it. You wanted them to stop working over Christmas, yet you got them to do a bunch of free labour for a bunch of elves and old people. You're a fucking nut job, mate. You need to be institutionalised. Also, I want to know how you're video calling on basically a glorified calculator. What secrets are you hiding? So for the finale, we actually get this acoustic version of Shakin' Stevens' Merry Christmas Everyone, which is actually better than the original, I would say. Also, on top of that, Busted's career didn't live and die by this song, unlike Shakin' Stevens. Seriously though, like, try and name me one other Shakin' Stevens song. I'll wait. If you think you can name me one, leave it in the comments. I will be surprised to see how many people actually know any other Shakin' Stevens songs. And no looking up as well, that's cheating. Also, sounds like the Crazy Frog has a short cameo in this rendition of the song. Don't ask me how he got in there. I have no idea. But as that song finishes, so does the special. That was it. That was Busted Christmas for Everyone from 2003. What a journey. Now, I feel like I've said so much about this, and yet so little, because what more can be said about it other than, what? I ran you through the entire plot, and nothing happened, yet so much happened. I don't know how they managed to cram so much nonsense into 25 minutes. They somehow achieved it, and they broadcast it on telly just before Christmas in 2003. What a world we live in. Now, don't misunderstand, I love it still for those reasons, and for the fact that it fills me with like a warm, nostalgic, like rose-coloured feeling. Like, I don't even remember watching it back in the day. I don't think I did. But even if I did, I was only 3, so I have no memory of it. But it's just the fact that it's so representative of its time and the kind of thing that was on telly at the time as well. It just reminds me of being a child, and there's something beautiful about that. I'm not saying it's any good, but it ain't bad. Okay, it is bad, but it's good because it's bad, you know? It's like the same reason why people watch The Room.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
I mean, it's pretty obvious that they didn't have a lot of time to shoot and edit this special together, but what they did produce was something magical. It's really odd, like it's barely held together by a really loose plot thread and the weird tongue-in-cheek cartoony humour. And they also feel the need to put in songs and montages on top of that. It's just, it feels like that S-Club movie, Seeing Double, from around the same time. Now, if any of you remember that, that's a video for another day, I'll tell you. So to bring the rambling to a close, I'm going to leave you with a clip of Frank Skinner interviewing Matt and James back in their heyday, where they reveal the teacher that What I Go to School For was written about. Thank you so much for watching.
I drop a pencil on the floor, she bends down and she shows me more. Right, okay. So, her name wasn't Miss Mackenzie, I take it?
No.
What was it? Would you rather not say?
Well, it was Michelle Blair.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, as they used to say on This Is Your Life, She's here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And there she is, look, over there.
Hello.
Oh, my God.
Hi, thank you for watching the video. I'm glad you made it this far. I think I ought to explain why I've been away for about 3 years. I guess I just didn't have a lot of time around the time I posted that first video. I was 16, I just started sixth form, and my social life was just starting to pick up. So whenever I'd have a free moment from school, which was not very often, I was usually doing something with friends, which at that point I seemed to have more than I'd ever had at any point in my life before. It was quite nice. I was able to do a lot more than I was used to, and I guess I just sort of got carried away with that, and video production ended up being put on the back burner. And then, like, after I left school and I had no more worries after that, I started working and I was planning on making more videos again. In fact, I was in production of creating an animation of a story that my younger cousin had written, which was quite amusing. I couldn't animate it, so I was going to call on the help of my girlfriend at the time. That sort of went through, to say the least. Yeah, that plan sort of fell through when we broke up, but you know, it happens. But I have been planning for a long time to be posting on here again, and now that I'm finally ready, motivated, and I've finally got the equipment I need. I've got this new mic, I've got a new computer that can actually render videos now, I've got studio lights. Do you remember that first video where I'm sat in the corner where my computer is now, over there, and it's just in the dark? My room hadn't been painted properly yet, so one wall was purple and one was peach. It was a bit of a state, but I was so motivated back then, and for the last 3 years I've just wanted to recapture that. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm back now and I want to improve. So if you have any suggestions for videos, for improvements, any criticisms, feel free to comment them below. I am desperate to know what I can do better. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, dislike it. If you tell me what you liked and what you didn't like, that helps me more than anything. I want to bring content to you that I myself enjoy, and I hope you find interesting too. So hopefully I'll be in production of my next video shortly after this one goes out. I'm not too sure what it's going to be on just yet. However, I might leave it a little while just so I can get a few suggestions from viewers. But if not, I've got plenty to work with, so don't you worry about that. Anyway, that's all I've really got to say. Thank you ever so much for getting through this video. It was probably a bit of a chore in places, but you know, that is the nature of a channel that is just starting out. With that said, have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year if this is being posted before that point. If this is being posted after, I hope you had a very lovely Christmas and a very lovely New Year, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.